Listen, Hopper, how are you, man?
Ashman, I'm really good. How are you doing the other side of the world there in Adelaide? Are you good?
Oh, yeah, not too bad, mate. We've had our first little rain. It's now what, June the 1st, June the 2nd, and
Yeah.
we've only had 20 millimeters of rain. 20 mil. I think it's been over a year since we've had any
Serious?
any decent rain. So
No
we're in a
way.
we're in a bit of trouble, mate. So how's my old Wirral going?
The world is good, mate. Since our podcast, our first of our new series, our first podcast of the new series, a good few weeks ago, the weather's been glorious here. We've enjoyed a nice, a really nice spell of sunshine here. We've had some glorious days. As you can see, I'm rather tanned. Got quite a bit of a tan there. But
Looks good.
nothing like the heat you guys are used to in Adelaide, that's for sure. And wow, 2 millimeters of rain, the first bit of rain like that for over a year. I mean, yeah, we're lucky if we go a week without rain.
Over a year, mate. Yeah, it's been over a year since we've had that much, like 20 mil. That's nothing. So
Unbelievable.
at the moment, we're not pumping. We're not doing anything stupid in regards to There's the irony is you've seen Queensland is now flooded, so that's up to the northeast. That water now, that whole table of water is run inland, like it's run downhill, and now they've got that much water. They're flooding up there, and we
Wow.
still haven't got any rain. Like today was 21 degrees, I think it was, and it was
That's
unbelievable. Like it
It's like
was,
winter. It's like winter for you guys now. We're obviously the summer, 2nd of June. You're the winter, and it's still 21 degrees. It's not the same as here.
yeah. Well, that's it. Well, so like June now, you got 4 weeks till July. That's the what do they call it when it goes from yeah,
Equinox, yeah.
yeah, equinox. So we're only 4 weeks from being the furthest away from the sun, and it's just crazy, mate. Like honest to God, it's absolutely incredible that we still haven't had any rain.
And it's the same. You're saying it's about 21 degrees there. Well, it's
We had our
very
shirt,
similar temp.
we had our shirts off today, dude. It was unbelievable. It's that warm.
It's the same kind of temperature as it is here, and we're like, getting right into the summer now.
So normally it's like this time of the month, it's starting to rain pretty significantly because the cockies, as I said last time, are looking for that second rain to stitch the paddocks so that the germination happens for all the wheat and all that.
And
Uh,
and, and just an interesting one there because obviously our podcast's about comparing, bridging our two sides of the world we're living on and educating people. You mentioned cockies there. Is that slang for farmers?
yes, sir. Yes.
Ah,
Yes, it is. So
what,
the cockies, not the birds, the cockies are the farmers. So
why do they
yeah,
call them that? Do you think? What does that mean?
the cockies.
Yeah,
Just farmer. That's just a farmer. Like it's just you're either cattle or your wheat. Your
yeah,
barley or chuff or whatever it is that they're growing.
yeah.
But yeah, no, they're just known as a cocky. The cockies kick the dirt and they wait for the rains to come and it's not coming. Like I know it's still El Nino or El Nano or whatever it is up on the Pacific side, but it's raining. They had all that cyclone up in Queensland where Reese is there, and that wiped all the beaches away, took all the sand away, and you
Wow.
and you're talking like 3 meters of sand just sucked out of the beach, and it's all now sort of like roots and all that, from all the ground grasses that grow underneath. And the beaches are terrible. They won't recover for a decade, I reckon.
Well, I think it just goes to show that how different it is where you guys are and where I am here in the Wirral near Liverpool in the northwest of England. Completely different world to where you're living, climate-wise and everything, really, you know?
Big time, absolutely big time. It's sorry, mate, the light was going crazy, but yeah, no, it is a big difference. And you know, Andy's come over from London, as you know, and he's still got all the good weather. He's brought all the good weather with him, so
Yeah.
which is fantastic because we're still sitting out the back drinking beer. We should be drinking scotch this time of year. You know, it's starting to get cold. But how'd you go up in Iceland anyway? You got on a bird up there last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, very, very true, mate. I've just got back from Iceland, and talk about different places in the world, and different climates and things like that. Iceland is a whole different ball game altogether. Again, Iceland. So in the summer months, obviously, I went last week for just for 4 days to get away. I stayed with Linda Baldvinsdottir. She is a Icelandic life coach. She's on TV and everything. I got
Yeah, yep.
to meet her about 5 years ago, working with a charity, and we've become firm friends ever since. So, Linda, I stayed with Linda and her partner Björgvin, amazing couple, and yeah, in their summer months. So, like when I visited, the sun sets about midnight, so you only get about 3 hours. It never truly goes dark. In the summer, you get about 3 hours of kind of darkness. In the winter, you get 3 hours of light. You've just got between say 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. to catch some light, and it's dark the rest of the time. So it's a completely different climate altogether. And as a country, just wild, rugged terrain. It's like, they picked me up from the airport and we went on road trips and got out in nature. It was great. When you're driving through these long, winding roads, you're looking around at the landscape. It's like you're on Mars or something. It's just rocky, barren landscapes. We drove through a town that had been abandoned because of the earthquakes, and and only the crazy or the stubborn, would live there, and then I'd probably live there. I'm crazy, I'm stubborn, and then we visited the Blue Lagoons and the waterfalls, and the geysers that just like water explodes from the ground. We went to the tomato plantations. It was just the country, it's just gorgeous. It's just, but you're constantly with all these big waterfalls and everything in the Blue Lagoons and these mountains, and volcanoes and glaciers. It just constantly reminds you. You're constantly reminded of the power of nature all around. And they've got this big volcano there, which last erupted in the 1700s and wiped out, I think, quarter of the population. And even people in Europe were affected by it. This is back in the 1700s because the black volcano ash swept over Europe. So they're waiting for that to go off at some point. It's just, they're just, they're lovely, lovely people, as well as Linda and Björkman. I met some great people out there. And, but they, as a country, they've obviously endured, a lot of, dark winter months, and obviously there's volcanoes over the years. So they've got this saying in Icelandic, which I learned, which is, I think it's feta redast, which is Icelandic for everything's going to be all right. We've been through enough, But it was amazing, mate. It was amazing. And it's just, there's only 400,000 people lived there, just loads of just vast landscapes all around. Reykjavik as a city is more like a little town.
That's the capital, isn't it?
Yeah, Reykjavik. It's more like a little town than a city. But it's just, it was gorgeous to get away and just to
well done.
take yourself.
Is that the first time you've been there?
Yeah, first time I've been there, and I think it's good in life to take yourself out of your day-to-day busy life.
I reckon.
Plonk yourself somewhere else, completely different for a few days. Just does the world of good, doesn't it?
Just who flies up there, mate?
So we've got from Liverpool, or Manchester. You've got EasyJet, you've got Icelandic Air, I think they're called, or Play, and it's only 2.5 hours flight. So, but it's quite expensive. It's double the price. So if I'm going to pay say £5 for a pint here, it's going to be £10 there. So it's quite expensive. But yeah, gorgeous. Have you been there yourself, Ash?
No, daughter Caitlin has when she was living in London. There, she did fly up on her own there. Might have been there, and then she went to New York after that. So she did say it was pretty special. So look, I'd love to get up there. Next time we're back, and we got Wales and whatever else we can do next time. But
Definitely, mate. We can do that. Next time
yeah,
you come here, we can take a road trip around Wales and we can just jump on a flight to Iceland. Easy done.
yeah, would love to shoot up there and have a look because once again, like you look at the Antarctic where we are, we're right around the other side and, halfway round to Iceland, let alone where you are, it's and you might as well see it. Mandy's dad's just about to go Saturday, it leaves Adelaide Harbour, and he's on 115-day world cruise.
Wow. That's
So,
unbelievable.
yeah, because Mandy's mum died a few years ago, and this one was their big one, and he's going to do it on his own. So, you know, tip
Oh,
my, tip my cap to him that he's, going to go through with it. But he's done nearly, and I might be wrong here, but I reckon he's done nearly 75 cruises now. So, whenever
wow.
whenever they get on the cruises now, they get cocktail, nights with us.
VIP.
Yeah, just because they've been around, so many trips, and they sort of treat them like royalty, which is good. But yeah, he leaves Saturday, so he's going all up your way. He's going right round the whole lot. So
Like 4 months pretty much. If he's passing Liverpool, if he's stopping by Liverpool, make sure you get him to get in touch. You'll get VIP treatment here.
I reckon he is going into Liverpool too. So it would be a good one that you could catch up with him for a few hours and
Definitely.
at least take him where the Beatles were, like you took us. So
Absolutely.
how good would that be? Yeah, I'll I'll make sure that happens actually because
Yeah.
I know we did discuss going into the harbour just with the girls the other day about what month it was, and I don't exactly know when it is, but I'll give you the heads up because you could take him out for a couple of hours and just show him
Yeah.
quickly what's around there in Liverpool.
Absolutely.
I know he's been there before, but it's a bit like us with you. You get to see the real stuff. You know what I mean when you got somebody that's taking you around. So
Absolutely, mate. It was like when I went to Iceland, Linda and Björgvin, they're from there. So it's like I had my own VIP tour guides, and it's the same. You guys, when you guys came here and when Mandy's dad stops by Liverpool, you'll have
yeah,
an insider's
name's
guide.
Bob. Bob, you won't forget it. Robert
So,
Harris, Bobby Harris. You won't forget.
legend. Yeah, you'll get looked after here again, mate. No worries.
That's really good because, like, if he gets off in, where the harbour was, where you showed us where the boats come in, then yeah, you could
Yeah,
zip down and meet him and rip him around for a couple of hours and show him the real sights. So,
too right, mate.
and what about the Wirral, mate? What's have you seen Connor? Have you had any more pizzas with him? I've seen the little
Too.
bits and pieces, but
Yeah, too right. All's good here, mate. Victoria Road in New Brighton, where my office is based here, where I took you to.
yeah,
It's good. It's a thriving little hot spot here in our seaside town in New Brighton. Now we're getting into the summer months. Everyone's sitting outside in the square in the sun, having beers and that. Connor's pizzas are flying out the oven. It's doing good. It's a great place to be in the summer here. In the winter, in when it's raining and it's miserable, this street can be a bit quiet here. But in the summer, Oh, it's booming. It's like, it's a great, like, feels like a proper holiday destination,
How's
Um,
how's the battery going? Is that finished its renovation yet?
which one? Oh, the magazine.
Oh, the magazine. So I said battery last time. I got it wrong then. But
Yeah.
is the magazine all done?
Yeah, the magazine pub, historic pub on the banks of the Mersey here in New Brighton, called the magazine because it's back in the Napoleonic Wars in like the 1700s or whatever it was. They used to keep like the magazine shelves, and the ammunition they used to store there, So
Right.
the magazine hotel pub, yeah, it's a listed building full of character and charm. It's like going back in time. It has finished that little refurb there, so they've done a bit of restructuring on the building and a bit of painting. Next time you come over, we'll have to visit again. They've got a great beer garden, great beers, great food.
Yeah,
It really is a classic.
I did like the urinal in there. That was the old
Yeah,
toilet. Yeah, it hasn't changed in probably, I don't know, a couple of 100 years. But it was
yeah,
such a nice pub. Sitting in there all cozy and
yeah.
yeah, no, it's a good place.
We've got some great pubs here in New Brighton where I live. You can do a nice little pub crawl. You've got some real traditional pubs, some cool bars and stuff. Like at the weekend on Saturday, I was at District House. My friend Revo was DJing there. Beg your pardon, that was Friday. I went to District House on Friday and Tallulah's. I went to Tallulah's on Saturday as well. That's like a really cool, quirky place. They have some great DJs on. There's a DJ called. There's a lot of great talent here in New Brighton. Creative talent, musicians, artists, poets, writers, all sorts of creatives here. It's quite bohemian and quirky. And there's a great DJ, a local DJ called Greg Wilson. Now, if you go on Wikipedia or anything, just do a Google search, Greg Wilson DJ. If you don't know him already, he's like the godfather of disco music. He's like,
The joys of doing Adelaide to the Wirral. So it's part of it. We'll kill it off and we'll come back. Hey, we've done it. We've had a crash course in knowing what to do.
I'm hoping what we did then recorded.
I,
We need
I,
to
I
record
did.
again.
I didn't kill the computer, so I only killed the phone. So at this stage, we should be good. So where did we get to?
So I know where we are. Is this recording now? Are we continuing?
I think nothing's changed, mate. I think we're okay. I think we're all good. So 3,
Awesome.
2.
So, excellent. So, for anyone listening to this, watching this podcast, we had a little technical issue there. My laptop just shut down completely and cut us off, but we're back. We're back online. So, I was just explaining there. There's a local DJ, Greg Wilson, who's
That's right. Yeah, Greggy.
He's a top renowned disco DJ, legendary disco DJ, and his son Shay was DJing at Tallulah's bar in New Brighton here on Saturday night. So I went to see that, to see him. Really good music, really good vibes. And yeah, I was just saying there, New Brighton is a great hotspot. There's some brilliant traditional pubs. There's some cool bars like Rock Point Records and Tallulah's and District House. Really cool pubs. Some great restaurants. We really are. We're spoilt for choice for places to go out here.
I think if you can flick a few photos through there, a couple of little short videos, when I do the producing on this one in the next couple of days, we'll make sure we get some of that up on the screen. Just
Yeah.
when you were up in Iceland, we did a job up in it's called the Flinders Ranges,
Okay.
which is heading towards Alice Springs from Adelaide. So it's due north as if we were heading to, I suppose, Papua New Guinea, like straight up. And it's about about 400 k's north of Adelaide, 350, 400. And we were up there, and that's sort of the beginning of the outback there. And
Hey, fella, you're an
get
idiot.
all the red dirt, and it's just, once again, it's off-worldly again, a little bit like Iceland, where you're isolated, and the landscapes are just so crazy different compared
Yeah.
to London and Liverpool and Adelaide and Sydney. It's just nothing like it. And we're saying last time about the animals that want to kill you down here.
Mm.
We were driving down this dirt road, about to go into this old farmhouse to do some work there, and there was a whole load of emus, and they stand about probably 15, 1600 high. They're quite a big bird, and they scattered. There was about 5 or 6 of them, and they scattered when they heard the van come through.
Mm.
And there was this 7-foot red kangaroo that was standing up like this.
Ready to fight.
And he was in a dry creek bed, and I've never seen, even as an Aussie, this guy was about 6'6", and he was up like
Wow.
this. All the girls had, all the birds had sort of flooded, and it must have stirred him up. And he was in this dry creek bed because it hasn't rained here. And
Wow.
I said to Vinny, I said, "Oh my God, I've never seen a kangaroo that big. He would have been 6'6". That's a big kangaroo.
Yeah.
You get a grey, you get the southern grey, and then you get the big red. And this dude, 6'6", I've never seen anything like it. But
Wow. Wow.
it's unreal. If I get the chance when you get down here to take you up to the Flinders, because it'd be a good one. It's not the Grand Canyon, it's the Flinders Ranges. It's not Wales, it's the Flinders Ranges. It's just unique. It's hilly, it's high, but it's not mountainous, but it's high. And they
Yeah.
have great big sort of waterways where they get lots of thunderstorms up that way, and you get big dumps of rain. You might get 50, 60 mils of rain in an hour, and you've got all these wash pans that sort of cut the roads out, and it's pretty cool. It's really good to see.
Mm.
There's a place up there called Parachilna, and you kill it,
Mm.
we grill it. There's birds sitting on the highway that are 4.5, 5 foot high birds, just
Yeah.
waiting for a truck to kill something on the road so they got some food.
Yeah.
But it's pretty crazy. Yeah, we're still killing everything down here in Australia, but it's
It's a
good.
different world.
We got the fox and firkin. I've been talking about that one to you for a while. That's our closest English pub here in Tea Tree Gully.
So where you are there in Adelaide. So like, you know, if
We're
you're
in the
going to go
north.
out.
We're in the northeast of Adelaide, so
Mhm.
eventually, the people in Liverpool and the UK there. If you look at the topography of Adelaide, it's quite a unique sort of. They're called peninsulas. We've got the Eyre Peninsula Lake. We've got Eyre Peninsula, which is the V, and then we've got York Peninsula, which is like a foot. And it's a real funny geography. It stands out like balls on a dog. You'll see it. It's that clear. But it's just crazy. It's just a unique place. It's what we were talking about before that.
You said about, obviously with the places to go out and drink and eat in where you are in Adelaide
Yeah,
or
yeah.
just outside Adelaide. So if you're going out at the weekend, Ash, what are your favorite places to go and have a drink at? What are your favorite
Sure.
restaurants there?
Yeah, there's about 6 or 7 pubs. We're known as the Gully. It's called Tea Tree Gully. It's
Hmm.
got more than 10,000 people in it, so it's a city on its own. But it's really just a suburb of Adelaide. Uh,
Okay.
Now Adelaide, here I go. I won't get lost this time. Where you've got the
Mm.
Adelaide Hills, and then that drops down to the water, and that's where Adelaide's built, the city of Adelaide. You got Glenelg, You've got you got Norwood to the east, and we're to the northeast. Now there's a set of, it's called the Mount Lofty Ranges, and that runs sort of in and around Adelaide. There's a fault line through there. We get little earth tremors every now and then. We don't get earthquakes, but we get little tremors there that might be 2 or 3 on the Richter scale, not very big. Um, but we're in the northeast, and we're right at the base of the foothills. So we're only 2 miles back from the Gully Hotel, which I think
Okay.
the Tetra Gully Hotel is one of the big old pubs that's been in Tetra Gully for a couple of 100 years. Not quite, might be 100 and, I think I said last time 150 or 160 years, but they've spent a couple of $1 million on that one, and they've got that one up.
Wow.
Annie and Caitlin were up there last night, and they said there were possums even in there. Like, we got possum plagues everywhere at the moment. They're just running amok everywhere, and
So
they're
possums, these little marsupial animal
yeah, they're a
creature
brush
things,
brush tail
and
possum.
so these possums, they're coming in the pub. They're coming in the place where people are having a drink.
Yeah, so you're sitting out the back, even though it's under a big, if you've seen Adelaide Oval, have you seen Adelaide Oval on the cricket? I'm sure you have.
Mm-hmm.
The gully's got sort of like a similar. They got like white sails over the top of the pub, but it's all sunken and outdoor, and it's fantastic. But
Yeah.
that's a really good place where you can either sit inside and dine, or you can sit out in the garden bed. And
Nice.
it's just beautiful. You can get a pizza made up out there. And the other one was, it's right, I'm getting a running out of time thing. That's all right. We're still doing all right. Um, you got the Fox and Firkin, which is our biggest English pub, which is right
Okay.
across the road from the gully. I will put some
Mm.
photos up so that people in the Wirral can have a look at it. It's unreal. I went up and saw the publican the other day and said, "Look, do you mind if I put you on the podcast?" And he said, "Go for it." So yeah, no, I'll put a whole load of photos up there. You got all your English pub type meals, and the
Mm.
plates are this big. Like
Oh
there's
yes, like steak, gammon, things like that.
yeah, all that
Do
sort of
fish and
gear.
chips.
Yeah, and then also all your beers as well. So, and there'd be a ton of them. There's that many on tap. So
Nice.
that's a big one for us. And quite often everybody goes to that pub just to get a really good feel, because you're right at the base of the foothills. There is an outdoor bit as well that you can sit, and the road that goes up to Chain of Ponds and right up through the reservoir there, which is just over the top of the hill. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful in winter, beautiful in summer. The other one we've also got is the blue gums.
Okay.
All our gum trees are blue gums over here. So they named the pub the Blue Gums. That one also has a nice outdoor sitting area, and you can go inside as well. But they got heaters out there. They got gas heaters and all that sort of gear that just makes it even better. So you can use it
Mm.
24/7 if you want to bet on the horses or the dogs. It's one of those types of pubs. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
just
A
really good.
proper pub. Yeah.
But it's such a the Tetra Gully here is very much like the Wirral, where it's just sort of a knitted community where you've got 5, 6, 7 good pubs that you can go
Yeah.
to quickly. Within 10 minutes you can go to. There's another one called the Clovercrest Hotel. That one's now called the Front Bar. That they do, with the AFL over here with the footy sort of thing, and that's fantastic. And there's
What, what's
just
what's the most popular beer? Is it? Do you guys drink a lot of Foster's and Forex and Castlemaine?
probably in Adelaide, like there's West End that I drink. That's this guy here. Now that's
Oh yeah, West End beer.
West
Cool.
End. That's sort of like mother's milk to all the guys that were growing up in Adelaide when
It's
we were.
like mother's milk. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Still tastes the same. You've also got what else? We got all the international beers here. We got the Heinekens but you've
All
got
them.
there's another brewery here. Man, I can't even believe I've forgotten about it. A pale ale. They do a good pale here. Um, God, what are they?
Do
I can't believe I've forgotten what they're called. But
you
there's two pubs in that. There's two breweries in Adelaide.
yeah.
There's the West End one, and the other one's the God. I'll get shot for forgetting this. Anyway, but they got a pale ale which is top shelf. There's a lot of pubs in Sydney, that bought the brewery bought these pubs in
Yeah.
the waterways there. Um,
Do you
God,
know what we do a lot here? There's lots of craft beer pubs, micro pubs that
yes,
they've become very popular. Pubs over here, like the Bow-Legged Beagle in New Brighton, and also the Homebrew Tap. There's lots of places now in the UK that have these pubs that sell, you
Coopers,
know,
Coopers,
Hoopers, Coopers. There's
Coopers
lots of
Brewery.
places. At least you're not going to get shot now, anyway. So, lots of places here, like micro pubs, these self-flavored beers, like 300 different types of beers, chocolate stouts, different crazy strawberry beers, millions of different types of beers on draft and in the cans. It's quite popular now to have loads of different flavored beers and things like that. They're getting really creative now.
We got one called the Pirate Life. That's We've got two AFL footy teams in Adelaide. One's called the Adelaide Crows, and as you know, Mandy Barracks for the Port Adelaide Power. Port Adelaide it is a port where all the everything used to come in from there, and that's got a lot of history down there. They're a tough mob. They always play good footy. They're always competitive. And this Pirate Life is down in that area, and that's one of these breweries that came through.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see when this thing's about to cut off. But at the end of the day, yes, there's a lot more micro breweries here. There's some distilleries up in the Adelaide Hills. Look, I could lose you here for a couple of weeks and probably not even see what Adelaide Hills has got. We got the Barossa Valley, we got McLaren Vale. We've got really fat grapes here. They're saturated with water.
Mm.
The soil's beautiful. They're very plump and very tasty wines here. They're not just sweet.
Oh
And they go
yeah. Is it?
and they go worldwide. You would have a absolute great time doing wines here in Adelaide. Adelaide is probably the boutique state because of how good the soils are here, and they go well.
Mm,
They're as competitive as all the French wines and anywhere else in the world.
nice.
They're very good, but that's all here, and that's only 45 minutes to the north and 45 minutes south to McLaren Vale, and that runs down sort of the belt of the Mount Lofty Ranges, and we don't get much rain here. We get 575 mils a year. So if you said that's 8, 12, 16, 20, 20 odd inches of rain a year, that's all we get. But we
And,
have very good grapes, mate. Absolutely
mm.
beauties.
And is there any dishes, food, delicacies, things that like you have there that we don't have in the UK? Like, do you eat kangaroo, or is there anything?
Yeah, kangaroo. Yeah, they cook it a little bit longer at a lower temperature just to because it's fairly wiry. It's not like an eye steak or a Scotch fillet or something like that. But they just cook it a little bit longer at just a slightly lower temperature, and the meat that comes out is very good. Uh, Kangaroo and the emu. I don't know if we eat emu. They are the Kona.
Ostrich is really nice. Ostrich meat has got more it's a healthier meat than chicken, beef, or anything else, really.
Okay. Okay.
Ostrich is really good for you. It's got, I think, more protein, less fat, less carbohydrates. It's got, yeah. I know ostrich is good. Well,
Yeah.
anything else? So anything? Yeah. Sorry. What else have you got out there that's a bit different? You'd only find in Australia, food wise.
Look, we've got prime Angus beef here.
Of course.
We do have very good quality meats here. Like if you go to the butchered meats, if you go to the Tea Tree Gully butcher, that meat is to die for. It's that good. And we've got an abundance of it. Most of it goes overseas. We probably don't get the good stuff, but there's so much food here. Um, it's a little bit harder. Look, there's schnitzels and everything that you get all around the world, and we're talking about going up to the Fox and Firkin. Those schnitzels overhang the plate, and then by the
Nice.
time we get through the meat, there's a bucket of chips sitting underneath that schnitzel. So, and the gravy's to die for here. The gravy's Justin Hopper. I had to go for a pee, mate. I had to rush out the back there. I didn't really. We had some more issues with the overseas transfer. Hey,
Yeah.
we were talking about.
Yes, I was gonna. We were talking about the cuisine over there in Adelaide, and I was about to ask you before it cuts off. I was about to ask you, with you being quite close to the coast on the south there, do you have an abundance of gorgeous seafood available to you
Yeah,
there?
very tasty. We got a sand whiting and we've got a King George whiting. They are about a 48 plus centimeter fish. They're a good sized fish, and
Mm.
they're very very tasty, very tasty. We've also
I've
got.
not had them. I don't think.
You haven't heard of them before?
What whitings are they called?
Whiting. So you got a King George and a sand whiting,
I've not heard of them.
and they're
Here,
they're they are local to South Australia, but they are in the Australian waters, but they're in abundance here. They're very good.
wow.
We've also got there's a snapper here. I'm sure you get snapper over there with a big nail on the forehead.
I've
They're
had
a
snapper before, yeah.
snapper, so there's like a red snapper. You can get younger ones and you can get bigger ones, and they're not as tasty. We've got squid here. Now
Oh
the
yeah.
the squid are very big and they're beautiful. It's like cleaning squid. It's like cuddling a woman. It's beautiful. We've also got there's lots of fish here. I've got to remember all the fish here tonight as well. Billy will be angry with me, but we've got the ones you put the light into the water and it brings them up. Helen Geeling loves those fish. I forget what they're called. It's not snook. But anyway, yes, there is an abundance of fish here. We
Not
also
shark? Do you eat shark?
we got the great white shark everywhere, and
Is it popular to eat? Is it a popular
nah,
delicacy?
no, I think they're
No.
they're protected anyway. You can't kill them. They can kill you, but you don't eat great white. There would be small shark, gummy shark, something like that. Hake, I think that's a South African fish, but yeah, there's. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could remember what the other fish were called.
Well,
But they're
well,
they're
well,
they're a garfish. Garfish. Now
okay.
they look like a
Not had them.
marlin. They look like a marlin, but they're only very small. They're only, if I said they were 35 centimeters maybe, but our dente. They are
Ah.
very very nice fish to
Well,
eat.
here we have a lot of cod and haddock. Obviously, here in the UK, fish and chips are very popular. So you have normally battered cod and haddock. Salmon is very popular in restaurants.
Yeah, yeah. We
Scottish.
get we get salmon here.
Yeah,
Not
from the
your
lakes.
salmon, but we might get a salmon trout here in the southern area. We
Yeah,
also,
we.
sorry to cut you off, we get a
Mhm.
kingfish here.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
the kingfish are about a metre long. They are massive, and
Mm,
they got an eye on them like that. They're a big fish. And don't forget, we got all the tuna over at
tuna. Yeah.
yeah, we got tuna farms galore over at Port Lincoln. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, you'd love it over there. The marinas over there is fantastic. Big pubs over there as well. On the, I think that I think it's called Boston Bay, which is about 3 times bigger than Sydney. It's just a Port Lincoln. You'd love it over there, but that's where all the you can do shark diving over there in the cages, and
Mm,
as I said, tuna, abalone, all that sort of. And we've also got the, the ones they have for Christmas time. We don't eat them, but they're like an escutcheon, like a massive big crab, but they're called a I can't,
lobster.
lobster. We have like a
Yeah.
lobster down here, which is, and you might pay $100 a kilogram for that over Christmas time. But the abalone down here is pretty good. Yeah, the big crayfish. We instead of the
Crayfish.
lobster, might call them crayfish, but they're nice and pink. They're really big. Um,
Mm,
Mulloway, you get mulloway here, which is another big gamey fish. Brim, a lot more of the brim. I don't know if the brim is more of a freshwater fish over here, because we have a lot of rivers here as well. But the salty fish are the most tasty. The freshwater fish don't have the same sort of sparkle.
I
Once
mean,
again,
if you go to any restaurants over here, I mean, the fish and chip shops, of course, you'll have the haddock or cod and chips here, the chippies. But in the restaurants and that, you'll see salmon, you'll see prawns on the menu. Particularly nice restaurants, you'll see lobster, and then you'll get some sea bass and some flatfish in that. But you know, yeah, meat wise, I mean, you'll get here just the traditional stuff, really. Obviously, they've got a lot of countryside in the UK, so a lot of beef and lamb and pork, and you guess, yeah, that's pretty standard here. To be honest, you don't really get much food here that's particularly
we
exotic in
we
that,
got
unless
beautiful.
you can do.
We do have beautiful lambs here too.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
The,
yeah, yeah.
the lamb bones are just they're beautiful. As sad as it sounds, the lamb's good. As you know, we've got heaps of sheep. Like it's just crazy out of control, and we've got an abundance of everything here. Like it doesn't matter where you go.
What
There's
are your favourite restaurants? When you're going
restaurant.
out to Adelaide, is there any particular place you like to go to dine?
Uh, we do eat up at the gully. That one's up near, as I said, the
Gully Hotel.
yeah. So we do go up there a bit, but there are plenty of restaurants around. I'm just trying to rack it in. It's
It's
Monday night.
always tough when someone
Yeah,
asks you, on the spot, where do you normally go for something to eat? There's so much choice. It's
there are. Look, in the city there's a lot of good Italian restaurants.
oh yeah,
I won't name them, but they're not only because I can't remember most of them, but there's a lot of Italian places in there. There's a lot of there's a lot of Asian food here as well. There's a lot of Chinese food. We got a place just down the road there called I can't even remember what that one's called, but um, that's a local one in the suburbs, and they've been there. They've been in that shop for like 40 years, and
oh yeah.
the quality of the Chinese food is just remarkable. Like when we went to America back in 2019, wherever you went in the airports there, they had these orange chicken. Now we don't have orange chicken in Australia. We have lemon chicken and all that with the Asian food. But orange chicken, man, that was a different beast altogether. That was so good. We got back into Australia and we were looking to try to find orange chicken
Yeah.
because it was just so sweet. It was just so beautiful. And like
It's amazing how
we're really lemon chicken here, like with the Asian food. And but
it's amazing.
we've got good steaks. We've got good Angus steak here. We've got good Scotch fillet. You've got good eye fillet. You've got T-bones. You've got. I know I'm just ringing out the normal shit, but they are. We just have an abundance of food. Because look, put it this way: we got 26 million people living on the coast. So 90% of Australia is just dust and dirt and paddocks. We don't have many people here. So compared head to food, you can always get whatever you want there. And you've got a lot of people that come from overseas here. There's such a you can go into the central market in Adelaide on Grote Street or Gooja Street, and you would just love it in there. It's no different to me going to your stalls as well over there. That there's just an abundance of fresh food.
Mm.
Fresh food.
Amazing. It's amazing how things change as well and evolve because like in Liverpool here, for example, Liverpool's a good example like here in the UK of although Liverpool's always been like a port city and a lot of trade going through Liverpool. It's changed a lot, our dining scene. It's evolved a lot. Back in the day, say about 30 or 40 years ago, even, generally speaking, the most exotic kind of places where you get Chinese and Indian restaurants. So you'd have curries, you'd have Chinese food. That was the exotic side of things, and obviously lots of Italian restaurants and French and European. But it's evolved now. We've got all sorts of cuisine. Obviously, you go somewhere like London, you can have food from all over the world, every country imaginable. But it is getting like that more in, here in like Liverpool, for example. There's a lot more sort of like Vietnamese restaurants and Thai restaurants,
Yeah, look,
Nepalese restaurants, Sri
sure,
Lankan,
sure.
loads. Spoiled
All
for choice
those,
now.
yeah, all that Asian cuisine's beautiful. Um, just with having Andy and Caitlin here, they've always cooked, and it's nice of Mandy to sit there and have someone cook for her. Because I'm a tradie, I'm a dumbass cooker. I don't cook too many meals, but um, it is fantastic to have these different flavors of food come through that you normally wouldn't eat. Okay, you can still get the food groups from wherever, it doesn't really matter. It's all fresh. But it's just good to have other people cook because, I'm used to cheese, Vegemite, sourdough, multigrain bread. Like, come on, an Aussie bloke can live on damper over here. Do you know what damper is?
No.
Damper's just flour and water and a bit of sugar wrapped up in a bit of tin foil, and you chuck it into a hot fire and you let it go for a couple of hours, and it bakes almost into a bread.
Nice.
And then the outside burns black, and you rip it open like a meteor, and then you just chuck
Yeah.
butter in it, mate. And it's beautiful. It's unreal. It's just different. But at the end of the day, your palate generally gets quite accustomed quickly to where you are. Like it doesn't matter where in the world or what you're eating. Yes, you might go. The mozzies are out. You might go for your safety stuff. Your chickens and your lambs or your schnitzels or something like that. But when you
Yeah.
get these Asian dishes there, and you go, oh man, how good are they?
Yeah.
How good are they? Oh, hey, And don't forget, everyone, make sure
Yes.
you get your La Vida Liverpool ads done too, because I
Mhm.
know they're coming up again soon. What a wonderful magazine, and hey, I'm here to promote it here. It's an absolute
Cheers, mate.
beauty. Wow, what a magazine!
Yeah,
It's so
nice one.
so professional, mate, and I certainly give it my tick of approval. So, Luda,
Cheers, bud.
everything's beautiful in there, mate. So I thought I'd plug that one for you as well tonight. But
Nice one. I'm working hard on the next edition of the print magazine there. So anyone listening to the podcast and watching it, if you're visiting the Liverpool region at any point, check out La Vida Liverpool magazine. My online magazine website is constantly updating with stories, places to go, things to do, gigs, restaurants, bars, whatever. So, La Vida Liverpool's website, you can check out what's going on in the city and the region and the Wirral here as well. But yeah, the next print magazine I'm working very hard on. So I'm working hard to get that out by the end of June. So this month of June is extremely busy for me. I've got to work very hard to make sure that the magazine's full and the advertising space is full, and then I can get it out and go to print.
great
So
magazine.
um,
I'm glad to even know about it. It's such a wonderful print. It's so clear and so good of stories and man, no,
cheers, mate.
I've had the luxury of being in there. So what a wonderful thing, mate, you do. And I tipped my cap to you last time, and yeah, no,
Cheers.
it's all out there. And what I'll do too, mate, I'll get some more geography done of Adelaide so that the people in Liverpool and in the UK can just see where we actually are, uh,
Yeah,
and we'll get that down on paper as well. And the same with the Wirral and right through Liverpool there. That the likes of my mob that go over there, and as I said, Bobby Harris is over there shortly, and
yeah.
if you could take him out for a couple of hours, wouldn't that be cool?
Too right. If anyone out
He
there is
loves a beer.
visiting,
He loves a beer, mate. He's
oh,
80. I think he's 82 now, but he's a spring chicken, mate. He used to play AFL footy here back in Adelaide, so he's still
awesome.
pretty fit.
We'll look after him over here. If anyone out there is visiting the Liverpool region, Liverpool area, or the UK, hit us up. We'll look after you. If anyone's visiting Adelaide, give us a shout. Ash will look after you. That's what it's about.
We'll put some gear up, and hey, big shout out to Connor there. Make sure you
Connor's Pizzas,
say good day to him.
Hello Pizzas.
Say good day to him for me, mate. Oh, I still got to get a whole load of stickers. I've just got a whole load done now, so there's about 300 of them in my drawer there that got to get posted out to you guys. So I might even
Brilliant.
give them to the father-in-law, and he can drop them off to you on the way over. So
Yeah, that sounds good, mate.
that might get there by he might be he might be 5 6 weeks away from Liverpool, maybe. I'll have to have a look at his itinerary, but no, that'd be good. At least there's someone he can fall back on in Liverpool as well, which is even better. So
Absolutely.
you've met
Absolutely,
Mandy,
mate.
you're now meeting Mandy's dad, so it just gets
Cool.
thicker and thicker, doesn't it?
Yeah, he'll be looked after, mate.
Justin Hopper, it's Monday night here. It's starting to get a little bit late. I better wind this one up. I'm better for the
Yep.
experience. This is the second one we've had to go at. It's taking a little bit of time just with, I've been working away a lot as well, a lot up north, Jamestown, and up in the Flinders Ranges there. So I can't wait for the day that you get a chance to come down under, and I can't wait to show you around down here, and
Yeah.
you'll have as much fun, I think, as we did when we come up with you. But look, it's an ongoing thing. It's great to be in partnership with you.
Yeah.
Each chat gets better and better, and there's more and more information going out to everybody that they can use for their benefit as well. So
Yeah,
Tip my cap
indeed.
to you, mate. We'll make the third one a little bit quicker than this second one, but
This has been an epic. This has been like a huge one. This one. So next time, maybe we'll discuss what to talk about. Maybe we could talk about comparing sports here
yeah, that's a
to
good one.
your side.
Yeah, that's a good
That
one.
that could be a long one too. That could
And
end up being a 5 hour one.
I'll find out a few more fish too. There's some really good saltwater fish in Adelaide that you would absolutely love. So there's another one with a spike on its neck, and I've been trying to.
You can eat crocodile. You can eat crocodiles, I'm sure.
Once again, I think you just got to keep the temperature down and cook them a bit longer. So if you can get out of the crocodile roll before he takes you to the bottom, yeah,
I'll get him.
you're gonna cook him up. But I won't let you near the water too much. we're
No
going
chance.
we're going down to Tasmania. I think I said to you with the kids. We're going down to we're going to do a lap around Tassie, go and see Hobart and Shipsterns where they got the big surf down that way. So we're heading off with Caitlin Reese, Debbie, and who I forgot, Andy and Kato. So we'll shoot down there in August. So we've got a week down there, which would be just awesome. And then we'll shoot back up the Sunshine Coast up Queensland there, which is just heaven. And Reese showed us a big snake that went through the other day that was about 5 meters long, had a girth
Jeez,
like that, and it just they got a couple of cats there, and the cats just sit up there on the balcony and stare at this thing. It's like a no huge,
different
huge
world.
big snake, but all that's about to come to you. So I can't wait to have you down here one day,
Yeah, it'd be great, mate.
and yeah, let's have a look at this Wales ride trip as well. I want to get that one done as well and have a bit of fun, and maybe
Definitely, mate.
we can fly up to Iceland and have a bit of fun up there as well.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good.
Justin Hopper, all the way from Adelaide. Thank you again.
Nice one, Ashman.
Thanks for connecting from Liverpool again and the beautiful Wirral. And hey, I love this more and more. We can have a chat and get face to face again. And I'm glad you had a bit of time out. You got a busy month coming up with your book and your magazine there.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I wish you all the best of luck again. And we'll talk probably in July sometime once your books are starting to get out there, and
Yeah.
we'll let's have a look at the sports in Liverpool, UK, and the sports here in Australia.
Indeed. Look forward to next time, my mate.
All right, buddy. Good to talk to you, man. It's always great fun, and
Yeah.
looking forward to the next one, mate. I enjoy it so much. So thank you very much.
Me too, mate. Me too. And I'll speak to you next time, man.
All right. Take care, Just.
You too, bro.
From down under, mate. We'll catch you soon.
Yeah. See you next time.